wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. Hey, yeah, whoa. My soul is stuck between dark and the light, it's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life, made a bag that was bigger than theirs. I win and I lose and I win and again, I can see why they think that's unfair. We putting the work and we making them bends, to be honest, I don't really share. You rolling with hitters, I don't understand. You killing good people, that wasn't the plan. Round up the game, come get your mans. He's selling his soul for a couple of bands. I opened his eyes, lifted a hand. As far as you see, this is all in my land. Cause I've been through hell, then I came back. That's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzz him in. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin. All these problems start to pile in. All these peasants turn to violence. Two-faced, thought you had a twin. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low, like. You making demands, I said whoa. I just wanna win on the low, like. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. Hey, yeah, whoa. My soul is stuck between dark and the light, it's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life, made a bag that was bigger than theirs. I win and I lose and I win and again, I can see why they think that's unfair. We putting the work and we making them bends, to be honest, I don't really share. You rolling with hitters, I don't understand. You killing good people, that wasn't the plan. Round up the game, come get your mans. He's selling his soul for a couple of bands. I opened his eyes, lifted a hand. As far as you see, this is all in my land. Cause I've been through hell, then I came back. That's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzz him in. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin. All these problems start to pile in. All these peasants turn to violence. Two-faced, thought you had a twin. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low, like. You making demands, I said whoa. I just wanna win on the low, like. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no. I just wanna win on the low, low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa.
Alright, I'm not waiting anymore for this bullshit.
My soul is stuck between dark and the light, it's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life.
I'm getting sick and tired of this fucking shit. Always got problems, huh?
We putting the work and we making them bends, to be honest, I don't really share.
Alright, what else is new? Let's get started with the episode.
I opened his eyes, lifted a hand. As far as you see, this is all in my land. Cause I've been through hell, then I came back. That's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzz him in. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin. All these problems start to pile in. All these peasants turn to violence. Two-faced, thought you had a twin.
It's cool. We'll jump in and do a super quick one.
Ask me where I've been, I said don't know.
We'll do more tomorrow. Keep it short today.
She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. 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 Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1095 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because not flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on? Yas beaches. What is going on? It's your boy Papa Swolio. Sorry, everyone on Facebook. Hopefully you are following over on Instagram or you're over on the YouTubes, but we are not live on Facebook today, or at least for right now. There's just been some weird issue going on with the live stream. So welcome to technology, always an issue, and we move on anyway. So we'll keep this episode brief, and we'll keep it short and sweet and to the point, and we'll probably go into more depth tomorrow when everyone else can join live, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll turn on halfway through when Restream or Facebook is done fucking up. So what is going on, everyone? Welcome. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching the Swolecast? It's going to be a little quiet today on the chat. I'm going to take that off the screen. So today, let's just jump in and make sure that everyone's aware that you can watch the Daily Swole. You can turn on post notifications and follow me in multiple different locations. If you want the high quality audio, you watch the stream or you catch the stream on Swolenormous. On Facebook, you check out the Daily Swole podcast on YouTube. You can check it out on Twitch and also Periscope. Usually Facebook, just not today, sad face. But you can also catch the podcast over on Apple Podcast, Spotify, everywhere, and you can subscribe, swolenormousx.com for all those details. What's up, Joseph? Gainesville? You guys on YouTube are going to have to be a little bit extra verbal today. You're going to have to pick up the slack. So if you want to catch it and you want to hear this audio and all that shit, then you got to go over Daily Swole podcast. So I got two channels on YouTube. I just don't stream on the main channel, but brand new juice today on YouTube. Brand new shit. You like it on Facebook better? Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to get better audio and you're going to get the chat and all that stuff. It's just a bummer. It's a bummer we didn't get it live today for whatever reason. I don't know why it's not connecting. I'm kind of right in the middle. I'm also on chat. I'm also on the live chat with the help desk being what the fuck is going on? Because it sucks. However, it happens. There's always something. It's not like I know how to fix it anyway. I wouldn't know how to stream if this wasn't available. So one day out of a few, it is what it is. But that's why it's great. If you follow me on these different places, you don't have to worry about it. You get notified, and then when I'm live, and then you catch it. But remember, if you can't catch it live, you catch the podcast later. So anyway, so let's see. We got some Muslim questions. It's Ramadan. Ooh, should we start with the question? Let's start with this question. It's Ramadan. What advice can you give your Muslim followers? Do I have how many Muslim followers do I have? One? You? Maintain fat loss. We can eat between dusk to dawn and somehow get some sleep too. To maintain fat loss, stay in a caloric deficit. Boom. There you go. That's actually kind of on topic today, because today we're going to talk about macros. What's the deal with macros? And I wanted to explain my approach to nutrition and to macros and to all these different things, and also give you some more perspective. So I put out a lot of in your face, slap you with the knowledge cock type content. So I'll give you some hard hitting content, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to give you my opinions, the honest truth, as I see it, in order to help the most people. And what I see are a lot of fat fucking people, and I see a lot of people struggling with their relationship to food, their understanding of fitness, and the confusion that the fitness industry causes. And this confusion allows for a lot of supplements to be sold. It allows for a lot of people to get fucked over and out of money because if you're confused, they can sell you a solution. So if you're not sure what's going on, oh, there's so many options, so many different ways to eat, there's so many different things, then you need a solution, don't you? Oh my God, there's so much confusion. Let me help you. Let me show you the way. And of course, I have a way myself. I have a membership paywall. I have a private community, swolenormousx.com. However, I don't reinvent the wheel. I guide you and I want to educate you on eating the proper foods and creating a better relationship with food. What I see as the problem, what I see as a big issue is the fact that there are certain facts that are inevitable. There are certain truths out there, but they cloud and they conflict with how we are pursuing our lives, how we pursue our daily activity. And let me explain. Caloric deficits. You will hear from a lot of scientists, you'll hear from a lot of people, if you want to lose weight, period, you have to be in a caloric deficit. This is true. This makes sense. Okay. This is not, I'm not saying calories don't exist. I don't say macros don't exist. The problem with just restricting calories and not approaching nutrition from a whole food, from an optimal food standpoint, what you're doing is you're restricting nutrient void foods. You're restricting caloric intake of the foods you are consuming, and oftentimes they are garbage foods. They are calorically deficient foods. They don't have a lot of micronutrients. They don't have good vitamins and mineral content. They're empty foods. People are eating things like white rice, which is a very fucking bland food and very empty of like micronutrients. People are sucking down protein shakes and meal replacement powders. These things are devoid of quality nutrients. And what's complicating the issue are the scientists that are only use studies. Some people only use studies, and they'll make the argument, well, I mean, this study shows that this is science. This is true. This is what we know. That's bullshit. There's no study that shows this. There's really no study there's almost no study that you can find a study to support any fucking belief. You really can. Now, I am a believer in energy. I believe in energy. I believe in energy. I believe in calories. I believe in calories. And that's what a macronutrient is. A macronutrient is a nutrient in which you can extract energy from. And a calorie is a unit of energy. So I'm not going to get into the fucking hardcore details of that, but that's all you need to know. Protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Your body can extract energy from those three macronutrients. We're not talking about iron or zinc or vitamin C. Those are micronutrients and minerals and vitamins and shit like that. So when it comes to caloric value, energy, if you have extra energy, if you're consuming a lot of energy, let's say 5,000 calories, wow, that's so much more energy than you're using. You're going to put things in a savings account. You're going to put things in the bank. You're going to save energy. You're going to save calories, and you're going to store it as body fat. And if you are in a caloric excess for an extended period of time, you're going to pack on the pounds. You're going to pack on the weight. The issue that I see, and look, I am not saying that, I never say that. I never say they don't exist. I never say that macronutrients, I'll say fuck your macros. I'll say if it fits your macros, fuck that bullshit, because I don't like the approach. And I'm trying to be extremely crystal clear. I don't like the approach from just going for caloric restriction, because then that's what got dieting a bad reputation. Diet is the way of eating. A diet is the sum of all the things you're consuming. I like the word diet because your diet is what you eat. I have a diet. You have a diet. No matter what you're eating, you have a diet. Whatever that is, whatever you consume, that's your diet. When we consider or we talk or use the phrase diet in terms of dieting, that usually means restriction. That usually means cutting out foods and being miserable and eating morsels and eating foods that don't taste good. That's not what a fucking diet is. Your diet should be quality foods that satisfy you, that taste good, that give you the caloric value, but not an excessive caloric value so that you're gaining weight. However, some of you want to gain weight, so that's easy. You just eat more. But a lot of you are struggling with eating too much, because if you're gaining fat and you're gaining weight, you're eating too much. So what do I think? And those of you that look at the back of nutrition labels for years We know it's not working because people are fatter than fucking ever. So all these people that are just running their mouths about macros and about caloric intake and deficit, they can run their mouths all they want. It's not helping. People are still fucking sick. People are still fucking dying. People are still getting fatter than ever. So we're not coming at it from the right direction or an optimal direction, or we're coming at it from a direction where it's not helping everyone. So I want to find that white space. So what's a better approach? What do I find is a better approach for a lot of people? What are you lacking when you're just going after caloric value, when you're just adding up calories? First off, most people hate math. Most people hate counting shit. So how do we make that easier? You're not naturally counting. You're not born with a calculator in your stomach when you come out of your mom's puss. You don't have a calculator in your hand. So you're not you're not designed to calculate everything. Your brain is designed to calculate things. Your hypothalamus and all those fucking mechanisms that provide feedback to your brain that let you know if you're hungry or full. It's not a nervous system. It's an endocrine system. It's your hormones. And that being the case, how do we minimize the need to micromanage our food? I call that micromanaging. Counting calories, fuck that shit. That's no way to live. For me, if you're a professional bodybuilder and you need to measure down to the fucking ounce because you have to get on stage as shredded as possible, I understand that. That's not health. That's not health. That's doing something, that's dieting and doing something for a specific endpoint. But that's not really true health, in my opinion. You know, you're trying to look shredded and dry as fuck on stage. That's not healthy. You might win the competition, but that's not a pursuit of real true health, right? That's not good for your body. That's an outcome, but that's not necessarily a healthy outcome. And you can go argue about that if you want. My point is, you don't need to micromanage your food. I don't think that's creating a good relationship with food. I think that's going to give you an eating disorder. That's going to give you a fucking complex, looking at the back of everything, counting everything. Oh, I can have a little bit of this. I get a little bit of that. How about we focus on the nutrients? How about we focus on the quality of the foods first? If we focus on the quality of the foods and I guide you through the process of determining which foods which foods your body responds best to, then when you consume those foods, you're getting the nutrients that you need. You're getting the satisfaction, the satiety that you need. You're getting the value in those calories. You're getting the micronutrients along with the macronutrients, and your body will be more satisfied as a result. It does not mean that you will not put on fat if you eat too much, because if you get too many calories over the long term, you will put on size. You can put on body fat if you're not utilizing them. But it's much harder, and I think we can all agree, and you can drop in the comments below, it's much harder to overeat legit food. I'm not talking about fucking weight gainer shakes. I'm not talking about soda and ice cream and fucking bread. I'm talking about real food, as minimally processed as possible, whole food. It's hard to overeat that. It's not impossible. Oh, I have a big appetite. It's not hard for me. I fucking eat. Okay, fine. You've been pigging out your whole life. Your stomach is stretched out. Fine. You know, you're talking about, it's like semantics. Everyone's going to have a unique situation. Like, oh, but for me, I have, okay, your individual situation. I'm talking in generalities here. If you're eating real food, it's much more challenging. You have to actively overeat. You have to be in bulking mode. You have to be like, all right, I am full, but I'm trying to gain weight. I'm trying to pack on size. I'm training hard. So I got to fucking stuff another sweet potato down my mouth, even though I feel like I'm going to throw up. That is true bulking. That's true caloric excess. You're full. Your body doesn't want any more, but you're giving it more. Why? You need excess to gain. You need excess to put on size. So that's what you're doing. If you want to lose extra stuff that you have on your body, guess what, fam? Holy fucking math. You need to be in a deficit. You need to eat less than you're consuming. You need to eat less than you're utilizing. So if you're, let's say, utilizing random round numbers, you're utilizing 3,000 calories of energy approximately, and you're consuming 2,500 or 2,000, you're in a deficit and you'll lose weight. Now, what kind of weight you lose, and of course, there's different, breakdowns and this and the other. So why are people still having problems? I think it's because they're not focusing on the quality of food. Big shocker. There's fast food at every corner. There are supplements and replacements at every fucking turn. Protein bars, shakes, everything. Everyone is eating processed foods, and it doesn't have to be necessarily chips or soda or candy. But foods that are processed, that are ground down, that have a lot of additives to them, it's not giving your body the right feedback. You're not getting the right feedback. You're not getting the right response inside your body when you're not eating food that your body really recognizes. When we're creating food in a lab, your body is ancient. Whether or not those chemicals in the ingredients, everything's got chemicals. You can break down every kind of piece of food into like subchemicals, and I'm not going to go into the organic chemistry of it, but that's where people make this argument. Well, everything's got chemicals. When we use the term chemicals, we're talking about real stuff that has no place being in natural foods, right? We're adding these things. Doesn't mean that it's good or bad for the body. It just means it's not found in nature. How about that? Or it's not found naturally in that food source. So we have to change the way we look at our food. I think we have to change the way we look at our food. I don't think for some people, just going after the caloric value, they might like that. Okay, I'm going to restrict my calories. I can only eat this many more to get my calories. I just don't think that's a good way to live. I don't think that's healthy psychologically. I don't think that's something that will really lead to a comfortable, fulfilled life. I think it will lead to people fucking falling off and binge eating and gaining weight in the long term because people are going to feel restricted. No one likes to feel restricted. That's why people hate the word diet when it's used as a negative. Oh, it's a diet. I can't eat that. I'm eating a cucumber and I'm putting some Splenda on it so it tastes like watermelon. That's what some of these fucking bodybuilders do on a diet. On this hardcore shit. They take cucumber slices and they put Splenda on it so it tastes like watermelon. That's fucking sick. Most people that do competitions have eating disorders. I wonder why. Because they're fucking measuring and they're restricting so fucking hard, they jack up their endocrine system permanently. Or they can in the long term. I think it's better to approach nutrition from the quality of the food standpoint. Quality before quantity. And it's very easy to look at individual pieces of my content and say that and be like, look, that's wrong. Quality over quantity. Quantity matters. Yes, I know that. The reason why I say things like fuck your macros, fuck your caloric intake, fuck your measuring, it's because it gets your attention. It shakes things up. It's like, holy shit. What does that mean? Everyone's telling me to count calories. Everyone's telling me to measure. Everyone's telling me to do this and do that. I'm trying to shake you up so I can get your attention and be like, look, let's put that aside to start. Let's take a look at what foods you're actually eating. If you're going to measure, look, I am fine with you measuring things. Now, if you don't measure, yeah, you could tend to overeat and could gain weight, but then you just start eating less. I'm fine with you measuring. I'm fine with you having whatever goal you want. You want to gain, you want to lose, you want to bulk, you want to work on endurance, you want to do swimming, biking, CrossFit, whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay? What I want you to look at is what you're eating first. It is going to help you measure. It's going to help you quantify. It's going to help you do all those things and be more loose and live your life more vibrantly and more just fucking like without a noose around your neck. Who the fuck wants to be led around like, oh, you're restricted to the numbers. Those numbers aren't always accurate. One of the problems is when you cook most foods, when you cook them or prepare them, the caloric value changes, what your body actually absorbs and what it doesn't, what nutrients your body can or can't absorb depending on how you cook it and how you prepare it. You're not getting the nutrients you thought you were, you think you are, but you cooked it in this way so that evaporated and they're less bioavailable than this and blah, blah, blah. And if it's raw, you're not going to be as full or it's not going to digest as well. So you're going to feel bloated if it's raw, but if it's cooked, you're going to feel more satisfied. So then you overeat and whatever. All right. I mean, most people are terrible at math. Most people are fucking terrible at math. So you're going to have the average person with a calculator measuring and doing math. Most people fucking blow at math. So I have a solution. Let's count every last thing and do math. Not for me. I don't think that's the best approach. So my approach is let's put that higher on the food chain. Let's put that higher on the ladders. Let's focus on these basics first. Let's focus on mobility. Let's focus on meditation. Let's focus on stabilization. Let's focus on activation. Let's focus on posture. Let's focus on getting some good habits going, getting started with your training, wherever you're starting from. And let's focus on eliminating all these bad foods. Now, you can make an argument that some of these foods aren't bad and you can have them in quality. Fine. Just because there's no research paper to say that a fucking high fructose corn syrup filled popsicle is going to give you cancer, it's up to you if you want to eat it. If you want to play the macro game and the total calorie game, that's fine. Not saying it won't work. I just think it's a much better approach to figure out which foods your body responds best to so you can choose your own discipline. If you want to have a cheat meal once a week, I don't give a fuck. I'll still post about fuck your cheat meal and fuck this and fuck that. If I want to have a cheat meal, I will. I'm a grown-ass man. I just generally don't. My cheat meals are things that I fucking enjoy and they're real food. Fine. I don't need pizza to get off. I don't need Pop-Tarts or soda or ice cream. I don't. I like my frozen berries and fruits and coconut oil. I like that shit. Fine. It's still calories. Fine. I'm not a skinny person. I need my fucking energy. Fine. I just like to get my things from foods I can find in the wild. Fine. Okay. Your choice. If you want to have a cheat meal once a week, twice a week, you want to go on vacation, you want to go out and binge drinking, I don't give a fuck. The calories do matter. The quality, from my experience, also matters. There are a lot of foods that people don't react optimally to. You tell me this. If you have 3 different types of carbohydrates, let's say you have bread, sweet potatoes, rice, all right? MyFitnessPal, it doesn't matter. You're still fucking calculating shit, and whatever they have in their app doesn't necessarily equal exactly what you're eating. I mean, there's a lot of holes in the whole system. So my point is, if you have 3 different types of carbohydrates, let's say white rice, sweet potato, and whole grain bread, and you're playing the macro game, you're eating whichever one you feel like, probably the bread, and you're having those kind of gluten and grains, and you're trying to hit a certain amount. Okay. Well, what if you're gluten intolerant? What if you have issues with gluten? You're not celiac, but you have issues with gluten, which is causing inflammation, causing pain, and you can disbelieve it all you want, but thousands, if not millions of people are, and realize that when they stop consuming those foods. So my point is, what's the harm? Even more than that, fucking what harm? Don't you want the benefit of exposing those foods that are best for your body and perhaps worse, and ones that don't work well with you? That way, when you make the choice to eat certain things, you know the outcome. Then you can quantify, you can cheat, you can do whatever you want with the right information. If you want to do an elimination and then ignore all of it and go back to eating the way you were doing, your life, fucking do what you want. All I'm saying is, I think the approach to nutrition, considering all the shit that's available to people, is backwards. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it doesn't work for a lot of people. How do I know that? Fucking everyone is either pre-diabetic almost or has diabetes. It's like fucking 50 to 80% of people are pre-diabetic or have dia-fucking-betes type 2. This is an absolute epidemic. So you tell me if it works. How are we doing? How are we doing with calorie counting? How are we doing with 2,000 calories a day, fam? How are we doing with that? How's it working out? How's it working out for everyone? It's not working out well. It's not working out well. And people are getting addicted to sugar. Okay, fine. You can make the argument, well, if you have McDonald's or donuts and you restrict your calories, you could still lose weight. Who the fuck is restricting McDonald's? Who the fuck is eating a reasonable small amount? Who's eating a quarter of a fucking donut? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck is having an eighth of a Pop-Tart? Who the fuck is having 6 ounces of Coca-Cola? If you're drinking that shit or you're exposing yourself to that shit, you're drinking thousands and eating thousands of fucking calories in excess over the course of days, weeks, months. That is just, it's unrealistic to have, I'll have one Oreo, just one. That's my treat. Okay. If you think you're that disciplined, you're going to have one. Sure. But then that taste, that hyper fake taste gets stuck in your brain. And then an apple or a piece of fruit just doesn't taste sweet enough because it's not made in a lab. So you just don't get that same kind of like passion. It just tastes bland. Oh, this natural, it just tastes like shit. Oh, fruit, it has no flavor. It has plenty of flavor. You're just overstimulating your taste buds because it's concocted in a lab to tell your brain that it's super sweet. So you're tricking yourself into eating or desiring these foods that just don't exist. It's stimulation. So you're not getting the right information. Your body is making judgments, and you're making judgments about food without having the right information. All I am saying is if you approach your nutrition with the desire and the interest in gathering the most and the most information you can about how you process foods and what works optimally for you. And you can imagine that takes some interest, that takes some effort. Oh no, it takes some effort. And if you just want to be handed a diet, you're just not taking responsibility. You feel entitled to have an answer. Fine. You might be one of those people that just struggles with their weight and just can't find the answer because you're fucking lazy and you're not putting the effort. If you pursue your foods and you actually take the time and the effort to go through this process, it's not that long. It's very enlightening and you'll feel great and you'll get rid of a lot of garbage and you'll find out food that's works a lot better for you. I mean, anyone can eat a ton of food. We can all binge eat. Fine. We're human beings. Fine. We can all go without eating so much. My point is, if you stop feeling entitled to have the answer, if you stop feeling entitled to have the body of your dreams, and you actually take this action to determine the foods that work best for your body, then you have the information and then you can make the decisions you want. Isn't that a better way to make decisions if you have the information? If you're flying an airplane, would you like radar? Would you like to know where you're going? Or would you like to be in the middle of a storm and have no idea if you're flying right into the side of a fucking mountain or not? It's kind of nice to see where you're going, right? If you are eating foods that you know your body loves, that you react well to, you don't feel bloated, you don't have allergies, you don't have any reactions to, and you have all that information, then you can make those decisions and make those choices based on the information that you have acquired. If you don't have that information, you're just doing random fucking shit, and no wonder you don't have results. No wonder you're overweight. No wonder you have fat around your stomach and your thighs and you're struggling to get rid of it because you're not getting to the root of the problem. You're starting at the top. You're not fixing the foundation. The foundation is cracked and crumbling and it's fucked up because you're coming at it from a backwards standpoint. And a lot of people that are of a manageable weight, that look good, they're rotting from the inside out. They're not in good health. They might look good, but a good weight is only one aspect of what could be considered healthy. If you're obese, you are predisposed to issues, right? Diabetes, heart disease, and those things. However, just because you're not overweight doesn't mean you're healthy either. That's just one dimension of it. So just because you're losing weight, cool, you can lose weight by eating smaller amounts. I mean, it's the concentration camp diet, World War II. Right? The Jews weren't fed well. They fucking died from starvation, wasted away. Caloric restriction, obviously a horrific event, but think about it. You restrict calories no matter what kind, you're not getting enough, your body is going to waste away until you fucking die. So why not look at it from, let me get the nutrients I need. Let me get the optimal nutrients. Let me get the foods that are going to provide my body with quality fuel, macronutrients and micronutrients. And then once I have those, first off, my endocrine system will function a lot better. I'll feel better. I'll make better decisions. I'll reset my taste buds. I will be getting the nutrients I need. I will be less likely to overeat. And then it's much easier to manage your caloric intake. You can step on the scale once a week or look in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm getting a little soft. I might be eating a little too much. Then you just cut down gradually, but you're going to be full anyway. If you're eating whole food, you're going to get full a lot quicker. Especially if you're exercising and you're being active and you're eating real food, you're just, and then you can play around with different things. Do I like intermittent fasting? Is that required to lose weight? Fuck no, it's not. Is keto required to lose weight? No, it's not. Like all these different things can work, which is why you have a spokesperson or a lot of people that promote keto and they promote paleo. Everyone plants their flag somewhere, but they all fucking work. It just depends on what works best for you. If you're consistent with it and if you're pursuing real food, from my experience, you're going to be a lot more consistent with it, especially if you figure out what works best for your body and you're training, you feel great. You're going to be more consistent with that. So then if you do stray and you do have a cheat meal or you do go here or there, you're going to be consistent as fuck. And if you're consistent over the long term, you're going to get results. And it's going to be a lot more efficient and effective than just doing random shit. That's the point. That's why I think just going after the macro stuff is a waste of time. Like I think you're chasing the smoke. Go after the fire. Right? Like go after the source. So keep that in mind. Tag someone, share this with someone that is struggling with their nutrition. Let's spread this episode around. I think it was fire, no pun intended. But And apologies for the lack of the Facebook stream. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll pick that back up tomorrow, but just turn on your post notifications on Instagram. You can also check it out on Daily Swole Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my second channel, Daily Swole Podcast on YouTube for the live stream, and also the main channel, Swolenormous, on YouTube for the daily drops. So got a lot of stuff coming. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1095 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and the Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. If you want to start your elimination, you want to join the Swolenormous family, trust me, it is the fucking greatest fam on earth. You can check out memberships and all the details at swolenormousx.com. And of course, I'll be here tomorrow for episode 1096 of the Daily Sleaze. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.